I want all of now look at this in Nigeria. We want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
The new Nigeria is
indications telling them it's time to change.
All colors, shades, angles, and perspectives can be overwhelming in our present world of information overload. This is introducing Ground Zero. Ground Zero is a current affairs discussion phone-in program covering topical issues in the polity. The program is a platform for an in-depth analysis of trending issues by professionals, authorities in various fields, analysts, and key actors in the polity. Ground Zero gives the listener an opportunity to contribute to the discussion via phone call, SMS, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. From the conservatively serious to the ridiculously funny, Ground Zero accommodates them all. Professionals, urban contemporary businessmen and women, policymakers, public service workers, students, artisans, traders, and the in-between. Ground Zero comes up on Tuesdays from 5 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 4 to 5 p.m. Ground Zero. This program is exclusive to Invicta 98.9 FM. Tune in.
Go placidly amid the haste and noise and remember what peace there may be in silence. It's a nice and lovely Saturday evening and you're tuned to Invicta 98.9 FM. It's time for Ground Zero. Ground Zero is a program where we pick up topical issues in the polity and with guests and you, the listener, we analyze them and try to make sense out of them. My name is Ehis Agbon. And today on the program Ground Zero, we shall be looking at the war on insecurity and, of course, the arrival of the long-awaited Super TUCANO aircraft to Nigeria and how it's going to change the face of the war on insecurity. Also, Nigerian Army welcomes 28 repentant Boko Haram ISWAP fighters. On the program today, we'll be looking at decongestion of our prisons or correctional facilities as the Minister of Interior, Aregbesola, is telling governors to sign death warrants so that those on death row can be removed from the population that the government is managing in our correctional facilities. These are the snippets of what we'll be looking at on the program today. And I already have my guests seated in the studio with me. I have Zwahu Yanwaidi. He's a media consultant and public affairs commentator. Zwahu, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Also on the program today, we have Samuel Yohana. He's a political actor and, of course, a political analyst. Samuel, you're welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. Ehis, and good evening, listeners at home.
I love the way you laugh. Okay, so they are my guests on the program today, and together we'll all be looking at these issues and how we can make sense out of them. Of course, you, the listener, can be a part of the program by going to the Invicta FM social media handles, starting first from the Instagram handle, which happens to also be our Twitter handle, at Invicta FM 989, at Invicta FM 989. You can also watch us live on Facebook at Invicta FM Kaduna. That's on Facebook. You go to the Invicta FM page at Invicta FM 98.9. That's the Invicta FM Facebook page. Our Facebook handle is Invicta FM Kaduna. You'll see the post in respect of today's program there. You can add your voice to the conversation. Let's know what you feel and let's feel your pulse generally. You can also listen to us anywhere in the world at www.invictafmng.com. That's the website of Invicta FM, or you download the Invicta FM app at Google Play Store, and from there we can take it on. And of course, for old and current editions of all programs on Invicta FM, you can go to the Invicta FM YouTube page. That's at Invicta FM Online TV, at Invicta FM Online TV. That's the YouTube handle of Invicta FM. You can watch every program, old and current programs on those channels. Okay, let's go get some more details on what we'll be talking about on the program today. But before that, I'd also like to tell you that you can follow me on Twitter at Ehis_Peacemaker, at Ehis, EHIS _Peacemaker. And of course, for the program specific Twitter handle, you can go to at ground 0247, GROUND 0ZERO 247, at ground 0247. That's the program specific Twitter handle. Okay, details of what we'll be looking at on the program today. The Nigerian Air Force has confirmed that the first batch of the A-29 Super TUCANO aircraft has arrived Kano. It arrived on Thursday, 22nd July 2021 at about 12:34 p.m. The Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Commander Edward Gapquet, disclosed this in a press statement to newsmen. According to the statement, on hand to receive the aircraft where the Honorable Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, retired Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, and Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amou. Okay, that's for the first item. Let's go to the next one. Okay, 28. Nigerian Army has welcomed 28 repentant Boko Haram fighters in Borno State. The Nigerian Army and the Islamic State fighters of West Africa, ISWAP, as well as their families, surrendered to troop of 151 Task Force Battalion under 21 Special Brigade in Borno. The Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Oyema Nwanchukwu, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday, the 21st of July. He said the terrorists who were fleeing area and artillery bombardment surrendered to troops, and that the terrorists and their families were taken in at the outskirts of Aza and Bula, the Loye villages in Bama local government area of Borno State, by troops of the battalion. The arrested suspects comprised of 11 adults, male terrorists, 5 adults, female, and children. The troops they also recovered 27 rounds of 7.65 mm special ammunition, 3 AK-47 rifle magazines, and a black fragmental jacket from the suspects. The statement said. The army added that the suspected terrorists were undergoing preliminary investigations in a separate operation on the 17th of July. The troops of the 7th Division Garrison Junction with Civilian Joint Task Force acting on credible intelligence tracked and arrested Boko Haram informants and logistics suppliers during a condon and search operation in Lawanti and Gongolung communities of Jere local government areas of Borno State. During the preliminary investigation, the suspects confessed to have been working as informants for the terrorists, whom they provide with information on troops' movement, location, deployment, strength, caliber of weapons, and other activities. They also admitted to supplying terrorists with basic logistics for their daily survival, ranging from petroleum, oil, and lubricant, drugs, mosquito nets, cola nuts, recharge cards, and foodstuff. The suspects disclosed that they were remunerated by the terrorists with proceeds made from selling dismantled old motorcycle parts to dealers in order to fund their purchases. Nwachukwu said. Now for the third item that we'll be looking at on the program today. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, yesterday urged state governors to sign death warrants of the 3,008 condemned criminals waiting for executions, especially those whose appeals have been exhausted and we are not mounting challenges to their convictions as part of measures to decongest prisons nationwide. Aregbesola, who spoke at the inauguration of the Osun State Command Headquarters Complex of the Nigerian Correctional Services in Osogbo, stressed the need to bring to closure the cases involving inmates. The minister enumerated 3 avenues to decongest prisons, saying governors could accelerate the wheels of justice as many inmates had been in custody for a period longer than the maximum sentence their alleged offenses carry, which he described as miscarriage of justice. Aregbesola also urged states to share in the burden of the congesting custodial facilities by constructing holding centers, adding that all the states needed to do was to build the facilities to specification and set aside a sum for the maintenance of inmates, while the Nigerian Correctional Services provided the personnel to man and run the facility. He said the third way is for state governors to summon the will to do the needful on death row convicts. Well, I will just leave it at that because we already have the main gist of the stories. Let's go straight into talking about insecurity and the war on insecurity in Nigeria. Looking at the 2 items that I started with, which were arrival and receipt of the Super TUCANO jets, and the general impression that will change the game or turn the wheels of the war in favor of the Nigerian military, and also the fact that surrendered Boko Haram and ISWAP persons have also been taken into custody, and generally looking at how it has always been handling them, treating them, and of course re-educating them, or is it uneducating them now because they've acquired a form of education which has radicalized them and all of that. I'll start from Samuel Yohana. Let's start first with the Super yeah.
Yes, it's a welcome development, and like you said, it's a game changer. Because those aircrafts are masterpiece, fitted with all kind of gadgets you can think of. Where I was reading something on the aircraft where they said there's a gun on the aircraft that is capable of releasing 1,200 bullets in 1 minute. When I saw 1 minute, 1,200, I was imagining how will the bullets be coming out.
Wasa.
Yes. So it's an aircraft that it's all encompassing. It's an all-rounder aircraft. It's a fighter jet. It can be used for reconnaissance mission. It can be used. It can be used even in the night. In fact, there's an infrared. There's a device on the aircraft that it can pick the enemy weapon through an infrared. That means even in the dark, it can detect where the enemies are once they have a weapon. And there's the bombs on the aircraft are bombs that are laser guided.
So they can't miss.
No, they can't miss their target. They can't miss their target. So it's a welcome development. It's something that is long overdue.
Okay.
Yes, and I hope there will be commitment and sincerity of purpose to use the aircraft for the purpose they are acquired.
Okay.
Yes. You can have the best aircraft, and if the political will is not there or the commitment is not there, it's all bullshit. But this
Wow, that's a strong word for radio.
Yes, yes. The stage we have reached now, we need to deploy all kind of weapons, aircraft within our fleets.
Okay.
Yes.
Come to Yanwaidi. The Super TUCANO, we have them now. Long overdue. Everybody has been clamoring for it. And from the specification of those crafts, they will definitely be game changer. But for you, let's have how does the arrival resonate with you, and how do you think let's have
I'm excited about it. I'm excited that at least we have the kind of hardware to be able to do something. Okay, we have the kind of hardware to be able to do something. I'd like to congratulate the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for going all out to make sure that it acquires and secures this equipment, you know, to execute this campaign against terrorists and insurgents, you know, across the country. It is very, very good, especially at a time where many Nigerians have been very suspicious of the government, its motive, and whatever that is happening around. For instance, the kind of energy that government has put in going after Nnamdi Kanu, the kind of energy the government has put in going after Sunday Boko, and stuff like that. Whereas the real present and imminent
threat
and existential threat to our nationhood is just right here, you know, with the terrorists, bandits, and the insurgents, you know, in northern Nigeria. So now I don't think that the government should have any reason not to go after these people terrorizing us, you know, most of the country right now. I'm very, very happy, and I must say kudos to the president, Muhammadu Buhari, and his government. Now, like Yohana just mentioned, the thing will be the political will. It is actually now that the government is going to demonstrate its true intent concerning what is happening in the north. Remember, in 2015, Buhari came. In fact, I personally voted. In fact, I campaigned for Buhari, as in my own sphere of influence. Okay, because there was really, really, really one reason, and that reason was the kidnap of the Chibok girls. Okay, the way government under Goodluck Jonathan handled this whole thing about the kidnap of the Chibok girls was very, very annoying to me. That you even say you don't know the children because where they are is predominantly Muslim, and they're writing exams even from Abuja. You could have sent to why. I said, no, these people, they are not serious about this country. And for me, anything but that government. And then we had a Buhari who was campaigning and was saying he will lead from the front. Well, this is 6 years into it now. We have reasons to worry, or we have had reasons to worry about his real, you know, willpower to deal with the situation here in the north. But now we have equipment. And we remember that during Goodluck Jonathan, some of the international big players, you know, they refused selling arms to our country to the extent that the government had to resort to going through black market. Avenues. But now we have them. So I think in Hausa we say Togafili Gado.
I love that. I love that. Okay, still staying with you now.
Right.
We'll look at the second item.
The second issue about, you know, it is interesting.
Well, they didn't say repentant.
Yes. It is interesting how editors, I think there should be those of us who are play in the media field, okay? Media field. I think editors must be very responsible. In fact, they should be responsible. Apart from the fact that they have the need to sell their papers and sell their, news avenues.
Yeah.
They also owe this country some responsibility. And that is that in capturing their headlines, they should do justice, please. Okay? These people were not repentant.
They surrendered.
Even though you would see, when you go into the story, you will realize that they actually are not, that the story does not say that they are repentant.
That's the body of the story.
That's the body of the story.
But the caption.
The caption is irresponsible.
And a lot of people don't read body of the this. They just look at the caption and just move on.
A lot of people don't.
Yes.
When I saw Repentant, then I saw that they were running away
from bullets.
Power.
Yeah, superior firepower.
Firepower. Both
then the
from
ground
ground
were mopping them,
and they were mopping. So they went and surrounded. I said, but why should you use Repentant? That is irresponsible journalism. That's irresponsible journalism. These are the kind of people that drag this noble profession, to the mud.
Yeah.
And even with the third item to which we will come, the whole thing about
prison decongestion.
We'll come to that. Okay, but I think the major problem. These people are prisoners of war now.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't voluntarily surrender. They surrendered out of duress. They surrendered because they had to surrender. So they are prisoners of war. They should be treated as such. And if they must be tried, they should be tried. Then they should be tried.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There is the big issue about the real repentant. So much of resources, both from within the country and from international donor agencies, have gone into what they call de-radicalization and rehabilitation of repentant insurgents and stuff like that. And nothing is being done concerning the victims of those. I think that
those
is
bearing the brunt of it all.
Yes, that is where we have somebody went and somebody goes, carries arm against the state, and he kills people and does whatever, rapes and does all manner. Then tomorrow, probably he sees that he's now handling the shorter end of the stick. He goes and says that he is repentant. And then you take back that person, rehabilitate him, whatever, send him to school, give him resources to start life back, probably even send it, because there are people that are saying that even Boko Haram should be treated like a most irresponsible thing to say. Okay? Whereas the people that have suffered the brunt of the actions,
they are left to wallow in the IDPs.
In IDP camps, in penury, and they may never get back their lives in 2 generations. So these are the issues that we should really be talking about. These people surrender. They surrendered not voluntarily. Okay, so let the law take its course concerning them. There is anti-terrorism law in the land.
Samuel.
Yes, please.
Okay, on the surrendered, rehabilitated, rejuvenated, or repackaged bandit or terrorist.
Yes, like Zwahu said, it's unfortunate for the kind of headlines that our journalists decide at times decide to put up. I don't know whether they do that as a caption to sell their papers, but a lot of people get misled with this kind of caption. This guy's actually surrendered because of superior firing power from the Nigerian army.
Yeah.
When I read it that they surrendered, I was wondering, the same people before that said that they are ready to die in this cause? Because from the beginning, at the advent of this insurgency, I got talking with some military men who were once at the front line. They said, these boys, as you're shooting them, they are approaching you, they are coming. So now I think a lot of them have started realizing that they've been cajoled into this thing. They're coming back to their senses. So it's a good one that they've surrendered. And honestly, they should be treated for the pain they have putting people through. Because if you go to most of those IDP camps, a lot of women are widows, a lot of men are widowers, a lot of children are orphans. And life will never be the same for them again.
Yeah.
As a result of what these insurgents have done to them. Like, they've taken that region back like 50 years, Northeast region. So they, I don't think they should be rehabilitated. I don't think so, because a leper cannot change his spot. These guys won't change. Yes, because there are some of them that have repented, de-radicalized, and released into the society. I'm telling you, they are still exhibiting some of the attributes of Boko Haram.
Yeah, I recall of one that was everywhere the other time, that went back, killed his father, took the remaining few family herd, I think about a cattle or two, and ran back into the bushes to meet his...
There's an allegation that some of them are informants to Boko Haram. Now they're in the society, they're still communicating with Boko Haram.
You know, sometimes we have to be a bit careful. Okay, some of the so-called repentant ones. Okay, I get the point now. I thought, these days, even with the bandits thing we are talking about, we have to be careful about how we understand the issue of informants. Okay? Because in some cases, some of these informants are actually under
Durex. They actually do not have an option.
They don't have an option. In fact, they keep that line of communication with whatever kind of human beings for their own safety probably the safety of their family
and communities.
I saw.
Yeah, but how did they get into that from day one? How did they get into that? That means it would have been
not necessarily.
I did a documentary. I produced a documentary in a community in Zamfara State. That would be like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And what we discovered, what people of that community, in fact, when we were going to the community, okay, we saw on our way, we saw bandits on bikes. On bikes. You will see 3 bikes. On a bike, 3 persons, all with AK-47. Okay, and our vehicle, of course, it's a Hilux. It's a Hilux. So we went. By the time we got to the community inside, we talked to them, interviewed the chief and stuff like that. And some of the people said, "Please don't come back here tomorrow," because what we went at first, the first day was to go break the ground, meet the people, then come back, really do our shots and do stuff, do our interviews. They say, don't come back here. These people saw you people entering here. They will know. They have people, informants. And some of these informants are just, are helpless about it. Okay? So they will just speak somebody, and that's what happens. We have seen this kind of movement around. What happened? What did they come to do? When are they? All of that. So we could not go back to that. So it's a bit tricky. Okay, sometimes these informants are not doing that because they are greedy or because they want to do. Some of them are really, really conscripted into doing what they do. So it's a dicey situation, and that's why even though we want the wheels of justice to run well, but the whole process also must not be too hasty.
Yeah.
If not, innocent people will fall through the cracks.
And that is definitely not anything that we want to happen, because if we are talking about insecurity, it must be all encompassing, protecting lives of everybody, even the least in the community. You're listening to Ground Zero on Invicta 98.9 FM. We'll quickly take some messages and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back from that commercial timeout. You're listening to Ground Zero on Invicta 98.9 FM. My guest on the program today, I have Samuel Yohana, political analyst, and Zwahu Yanwaidi, public affairs analyst and a media consultant. Before that break, we talked about the war on insecurity, and right now we'll be looking at the congestion of our correctional facilities. I know many people are not familiar with that. The congestion of our prisons. Let's put it the way that people generally understand what we are talking about. Now, the former governor of Osun State, now the Minister of Interior, is saying that governors should summon up courage and sign death warrants so that those that have been sentenced to death and that have exhausted every avenues of reversing or getting the redress of the whole issue, the governor should sign it. Let me start from Samuel Yohana. The reason why I'm starting from you is very obvious. I know you're a key political player, a key political figure, and I know that all of this boils down to politics, whether we like it or not. Why are some governors reluctant when it comes to signing the death warrant of those that have been convicted?
One, there's this human feeling a lot of them have. Two, I remember Amnesty International did
Capital
capital punishment.
Mm.
The governors were very, very careful.
Okay.
In short,
If you are in charge today, if you are the chief executive, and there is death warrant are brought to you, what will you sign them?
it depends on the gravity. Yeah, for some, it can be converted to life imprisonment.
Imprisonment.
But for some, I'll append my signature. I'll try to execution. like there's a case of Reverend King.
Yes, I was
For
about
that
to make
one,
a
I will
reference.
sign. Listen, let him just.
Without batting an eyelid.
Yes, because he has dealt with a lot of people. So he deserves to be treated. And honestly, most of the prisons are over congested with people on death row, then people awaiting trial. Awaiting trial because of our criminal justice system. A case that is not supposed to take more than 6 months, you see it lingering for 10, 12, 15 years.
As you know, the governor, even in his submission, also said that there are instances where probably an offense that you'd spend maybe that maximum sentence for the particular crime may be like 2 years, and you see someone more than
that convicted, the duration for conviction.
That such persons should just be set free.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that they normally during festivity period or during anniversary they just give them state pardon.
No. Those ones, they are waiting trial, so they are not. There is nothing to pardon them.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
because
yes.
For people that have less than 1 year or less than 6 months to complete their jail term.
Those
Okay, for those ones, yes.
For those
But for those that have not been
awaiting
convicted yet, awaiting trial.
They are waiting trial. I mean, there is nothing that has been established against them.
Yes.
So they can be pardoned for what they have not.
Not
And
done.
some of those cases that are waiting trial for are just trivial distance. So once the governor goes through and see that this is just a minor, maybe issue of two fighting or theft of chicken.
But the governor really does not have the capacity to. Is a chief judge or.
Yeah, the chief judge, he lies with the chief judge. The chief judge brings the whole brief to him and he goes through it.
No, not for the awaiting trial.
Okay.
It's those that are already the process have started.
No, those
Those are that
Who are
become
already
convicted.
Okay.
Yeah, convicts. Yes, those
To
are
the
the
best
ones
of
that.
my knowledge,
Yeah.
only
Okay.
convicts. But I may be making a mistake here.
But for some, you see that they're convicted. It's either they pay fine or they go subject. I see
No,
where
we're
some-
talking about different things here.
Okay.
Okay.
There are people who are awaiting trial, people whose trial is
It's
going
going
it's
on.
going on.
on. Okay? So
No, you can't pardon this kind of people
Uh-huh.
because the judgment has not been passed.
Yes, yes. So we've clarified that
So,
now.
Yes.
uh-huh. Well, you see, this is also again the issue I raised about what I am helplessly having to refer to as the irresponsibility of some editors. Okay, people who cast news on papers or wherever. You know, this man talked many things before he mentioned.
That's
Yeah,
governor's been reluctant.
yeah, to sign this thing. And honestly, I don't know your information, Mr. Yohana. I don't know this thing. Myself, I don't have facts and figures. But honestly, I think that people on death row do not constitute congestion to our prisons. I don't know.
From the figures he gave, he said.
They are
From
part
the
of
figures he gave, he said 3,008
all over the country.
all over the country.
But what is the capacity of the Kaduna prison?
Really, most of these prisons don't have
They've
capacity of
overstretched their
1,000.
capacity is like 200%.
What is the capacity of Kaduna prison?
Can-
How
can-
many?
can be more than
similar-
3,000
sorry,
probably.
get my point. We are talking about
Nationwide.
nationwide. How many prisons do we have nationwide? So if you put the number of the prisons all across the country, you will see that 3,000 plus people does not constitute that number does not constitute congestion as much as the number of people
Awaiting trial.
awaiting trial. Dispense with those cases first.
The ones awaiting
And the
trial.
man mentioned it. The minister
yes, he
mentioned
did.
it.
He did.
He mentioned it.
Yeah.
But somebody in, casting the headline decided to just sensationalize the whole. Okay? Which I think is not good. At this point in time, I think we have certain people should not unnecessarily overheat the polity because we should be worrying about more serious things. These people know what they need to do. If anybody is, in fact, only prison, correctional staff
Yes, service
can
personnel.
actually just go and look at, because there is nobody as hopeless as that kind of person. Okay, the person that has been convicted knows the number of
Years or
period
months
in
or the period.
so he's counting. This time is coming. This person does not even know. Probably his case file has
gotten lost and
nobody is talking about.
yes,
So go and look for this
and we
kind
have
of
a whole
people.
lot of
It
them
is
in the
very, very
correctional
easy. Yes,
facilities.
it's very, very easy. And we must not forget the role that the police plays, because the police is the how is it called? Is the prosecutor, okay, for the state.
Yes.
For the state. When I say state, I don't mean simply
The government,
yeah,
the nation.
For the nation. The police is the prosecutor, and then of course the commissioners who mass up the position of Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General of either of states, and then of course the minister. They can actually go and look at these numbers and say, look, if this person is supposed to spend only 12 months by virtue of the offense, and he has spent more than that, please let this person go back home. Okay?
Yeah.
Let them go back home, and you will see how drastically the number will reduce before you even begin to talk about people who have been convicted. And like my brother here has just said, it's not easy for you to sit down and sign that someone
Should be killed.
it's not easy. And he has also mentioned the campaign of late
Amnesty
against
International.
not just Amnesty International, the Catholic Church, for instance. Okay, for centuries the Catholic Church has been against capital punishment. Okay, because of this whole thing about pro-life.
Yeah.
There should be, and up until like 1995, it was, I think, when the Pope, the then Pope sent John Paul II. He wrote Evangelium Vitae, That's the gospel of life.
Yeah.
You know, he was addressing this whole issue of life, abortion, contraception, and stuff like that, and also touched this issue very, very strongly. But nobody has approached it as strongly as the present Pope, where he is talking very, very seriously against capital punishment. So some people, as a matter of faith, as a matter of conviction, you know, and then as a matter of their humanity or humaneness, they don't want to sign, so they will rather just
pass it on to
but
the
the
next
good thing,
guy.
again, the good thing is that in Nigeria, the prison service has changed to correctional service. So it means that they are more interested in
correcting them now.
in correcting
Someone that
them.
has
So
condemned.
let us see how they can approach
corrected,
that.
yeah,
They can
and,
approach,
and
you know,
go back
correct
into society.
So,
as a,
but no, not them. No, not the. I'm talking about.
okay, you mean the correctional service staff?
Yes. Let them even start by freeing the people that they should free.
Free, yeah.
Okay, and then
I think they also do not have the capacity to free. It's the police that should come. Either they are the police are the prosecutors.
Or the ones that are convicted.
The ones awaiting trial, the ones on remand, and all of that. They just whoever that must have stayed beyond what you be prosecuted. If you are found guilty, yes, they should just let them take a walk. Let them take a walk.
But by the time they do that, you will see that 50%.
Yes, more than 50% of those held there.
And you know, most of these inmates are being fed with taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
In as much as the quality of the feed is nothing to write home about, where the controller and the contractor are hand in gloves to do their thing.
Let us not even talk about the amount budgeted.
The services rendered at
and the food that finally appears on the table. Let's not talk about that. A lot happens.
It's another cup of tea.
There was a minister that talked about how much we used to feed prisoners. The minister's name, Minister of Interior, his name is Tambazo.
Yes. Was it 14,000 per day or something like that?
14,000 naira. Per inmate.
Yes, per inmate per day.
That's been appropriated.
Yes.
That's what they spend. It's there. If you Google this thing, the beautiful thing about our age today is that
information age.
The internet never forgets.
081 40,000 989 and 070 800 989, or you go to Facebook and drop your comment on our Facebook page at Invicta FM Kaduna. At Invicta FM Kaduna. All right, 081 40,000 989 and 070 800 989 are the numbers to dial to add your voice to our conversation this evening. We have our first caller this evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, my name is Maji Peters. I'm calling from Care Fronting Center.
All right, Maji Peters.
Maji, not Maji.
Oh, Maji Peters. Maji Peters, you're welcome to Ground Zero.
It's a very interesting topic, but then you see the issue of talking about inmates that will have overstayed what will have been their conviction and letting them go, or people whose cases we think are quite minute and letting them go, has its own implications on the society itself. Because another thing we have to look at is it depends on how long this person has stayed in detention.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the rate of recidivism in Nigeria, it's about 83%.
Okay.
And recidivism is about 83%. That means someone who went to prison falsely, rightly, illegally, inadvertently, or who was guilty of a crime and have overstayed what will have been the legitimate sentence for such infractions gets influenced by people he engages with, and when he comes back, the tendency of returning within the first 12 months is quite high, and when he goes back, they always commit crimes who take longer sentence than the first one they have done.
Okay.
So I don't think it's, and that's why the challenge we have is a lot of people go. It's just like what we do. The governors give amnesty. They just look at people that have less sentence, less days to stay, all their crimes are not, and they just let go. It shouldn't just be like that. There should be a process of doing that, because there is no engagement with this image before they are let into the society. The process of inmate reintegration is not just opening the gates and telling them walk out. Some of them come back into the society within the concept of being very traumagenic. Some of them come back with grudge and desire for vengeance. Some of them come back to the society and the reintegration and stigma is still there, it has not been dealt with. So I think we need to look at this thing more holistically. It should not be an action, it should be a process.
Okay.
That's just what I want to share.
Oh, thank you so much, Margie Peters. 081400989 and 07087800989 are the numbers to dial, or you go to the Invicta FM Facebook page and add your voice to our conversation. Okay, the lines are open now. You can put your call through. Let's have your take. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Timmy. I'm calling from
All right, please. Let's have your take.
Okay, I want to commend you for the good job you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now on the security issue about the A29 TUCANO fighter jets that have been delivered to Nigeria.
Yeah.
My take is that, one, we must think of protecting our assets.
Okay.
These assets, these enemies that we are fighting with are very sophisticated now. We are not fighting with low.
Oh, we lost him. We lost him. The network. All right. While we are waiting for the next call to come in, we'll quickly run through some of the comments on our Facebook page. We have this one coming from Josh Dangwafan. He's saying, good evening. One, arrival of the Super TUCANO aircraft. I pray our government will gain back our confidence, because a good number of Nigerians are losing trust in the government's fight of the menace called insecurity. Two, he's saying that what modalities does our government always use to ascertain these killers are real with their repentance? Okay. Personally, I feel something needs to be done with them, not pardoning. Josh Danyashio Kamazo. Okay. We have this one coming straight from Joel. Before that, let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ehis and the guest on the show.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program. Say again.
Francis.
All right, Francis, let's have your take.
Honestly, the arrival of the TUCANO aircraft to me is okay. The weapon one, but that is not the problem.
I'm not hearing you clearly.
I said the arrival of the system is not the major problem we are facing.
Okay.
I knew that our military and other paramilitary are well trained and they have weapons or equipment to fight this war. The problem is that if the government cannot get it together,
Gabriel, Francis, we are struggling to hear you. We may have to let you go. All right, let's quickly look at some other messages. We have this one coming from Joel Matthew Waza. He's saying, good evening, presenters and guests. Nigerian Army welcome 28. Okay. Yeah. On 28 Boko Haram, ISWAP, they are welcome, but they should be careful They should be carefully observed because any dog that tasted blood of other animals have automatically become hyena and can never be trusted and live with other good ones. This one from JJ Arege is saying the arrival of the Super TUCANO aircraft is a good development. I hope it will help in ending the activities of Boko Haram in the shortest period of time. JJ Arege from Juji New Extension. This one is Shuayao Suleiman. Good day, presenter and the guests. We welcome this development, but please help me ask Nigerian Army whereabouts of our drones that was launched some time ago. Big question. This one from Gabriel Tutu is a repentant kill. Okay, Gabriel, you need to use some other language when passing across. Okay, I may not be able to read that. This one from Nicholas Monday Ofem Egede. He said, Ehis, happy evening. The point is Nigeria's correctional center itself needs a lot of correction in all process and its operation. Nicholas Monday Egede. We'll take one call and go to our Facebook page. Hello, good evening, welcome to Ground Zero. Oh, we lost him. Hello. Hello. Okay. On our Facebook page, we have quite a number of them. Wow. Today is really loaded. From Remarkable Cletus. We have quite, we may not be able to take all of this. Instead of, okay, this one from Kingsley Buja. Good evening. Instead of state governors signing death penalties, let them convert it to life imprisonment. Any crime committed by a person is as a result of negative ideology. Let correctional centers all over the country do their work by correcting negative ideologies by these criminals and turn them to good citizens. If Sierra Leone can abolish death penalty, let Nigeria as a country do the same. Life is precious. That's the one and that I can take for now. You can go to our Facebook page at Invicta FM 98.9. You see other comments dropped in there, or you go to our Facebook handle at Invicta FM Kaduna. And I want to sincerely appreciate my guest this evening, Samuel Yohana. Thank you for having time to be on Ground Zero.
Thank you, Mr. Ehis, and thank you, listeners at home.
And Zwahu Yanwaidi.
Thank you indeed. Always a pleasure.
All right. I want to also thank you, the listener, for having time to listen to the program. Next week, Tuesday from 5 to 6, we'll be on for another package of the program, Ground Zero. Like always, I would say, plant a tree today, water it, and watch it grow. May the good, mighty Lord bless and keep us all. I am Ehis Agbon. Call me the peacemaker with a passion for crowd satisfaction.